Merry Christmas. I wanted to show this awesome Christmas Eve day here. Fortunately, I'm off from work and it's nice and sunny. Temperature's not too bad. It's probably in the 40s. And just kind of show what the farm looks like when I don't have a whole lot going on, and also discuss our plans for 2026, because it's, you know, while you're not working, you need to be planning your next batch of projects so that you can continue to move forward and make progress. So I will detail those. I got 3 big ones. We're going to finish the fence down in the silvopasture so I can move cows down there. We are going to get a whole bunch of firewood split. What's up, Jasper? This thing. No, not a fan. Not a fan. That's all right. You're a good boy. I'm gonna split a whole bunch of firewood because I burned up another year's worth, so I need to replace it. Obviously, fortunately, we have no shortage of trees. Excuse me a moment. And then we're going to continue to clear out and build pasture. So this black locust forest that we took out earlier in the year, and I guess late last year, has started to coppice back. It's going to be tough. There's a lot of stumps. I'm not so worried about the cows tripping over the stumps. I am worried about a bunch of gopher holes and fox holes and stuff up in there. Also behind me you can see where we keep our egg laying flock. We had a coyote get in there just a couple days ago. We lost 5 or 6 chickens, and then we've also been having hawk problems, so lost a few more there. So our chicken flock has been reduced by probably 30-40% just in the last week, which sucks. So we'll have to get more chickens and we'll have to protect them better. But yeah, this is a big one here. This is going to give me another full acre of grazing up here behind me. So you can see all that is black locust growing back. So we'll need to come in here and bushwhack all this. Look how thorny that stuff is. But we're going to have to come in here and bushwhack it all. I got up in here with a skid steer and started leveling out old compost piles and filling in holes. But some of this stuff is relentless. And certainly not stuff you want to be pulling by hand. Not unless you're a masochist. So, got to get in here and get some equipment and take all this down and then seed it. I'm not going to take down any more trees, but all this brushy stuff is just this year's growth. So weed whacker with a saw blade, something like that. The fence we put in is holding up really well. This is also excellent deer territory up in here, but I would rather have cows than deer for a variety of reasons. And I have no shortage of deer on this property anyway. It's littered with them. But right here, we're walking on a deer path. You can see this fence I put in, holding up really well. It's electrified, so I'm not gonna touch it. Although it looks like it might be touching that tree. Huh? Is it? Nope, just clearing. So the cows will be able to come up in here, graze all the way up to the edge of the property, which will be nice. And then with them doing their natural cow behavior, plus all their manure, plus any hay they drop, this will turn into awesome pasture pretty quickly. Here's another example of how quickly black locust coppices back. So I cut that tree. There's got to be 100 trees coming out of it. Eventually I'll just keep whacking those off and the tree will die out. This one's a lot healthier. Look at this. That's 2 inches around there, that one new tree. So it's a very tenacious plant. Just gotta keep beating it back. Got 3 beef this year. That's we only raised 2 per year up until this year. Got 3 nice heifers down there. We'll go see them real quick as we crawl through the woods here. go see my new heifers and see how they're enjoying their Christmas Eve. I don't know what my if I mentioned it, but this spring, so I'm gonna try something new with turkeys. We've lost a lot of turkeys here due to a disease called blackhead, which is a parasite in the soil, kills turkeys, bottom line. But there's natural ways of mitigating it. You can feed cayenne pepper, which I have tried, and I think it's effective. I've seen near 50% survival rate when you're supposed to see 90 to 100% death. So I believe that's mitigated it some. You can also put oregano oil in the water, so that's another mitigation strategy we're going to try. We're going to get and then we're going to try a third kind of, we're having a control group, and then we're going to try putting poultry net around shelters like this one behind me here. I'm not sure if you can see it, but that's a cobbled together shelter there. And I'm going to try and get some more professional shelters, but they're super expensive. So we'll see. Either way, I'm going to find a good method of raising turkeys. First of all, I like raising turkeys. They're basically big dogs, and they're delicious. They're profitable. They're not a ton of work, although they're much more work than cows. And again, they're beneficial to the landscape. They're certainly better at foraging and scratching and spreading manure, things like that, than than broiler chickens, Cornish cross chickens. They're kind of lazy. So even the factory turkeys, the broad-breasted whites, are very, very active grazers. Ah, here's my cows. What's up, guys? You gonna let me get close? You wanna say hi? Good looking ladies right there. These guys are pretty friendly. They won't let me get right on top of them, but we'll be able to get really close. What's up, guys? It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Everybody stay calm. Haven't really come up with names for them yet. I can already tell this one in the front's a little sketchy. Like, what's that thing in your hand, man? It's okay. I don't want them to feel cornered against the fence either. They've been here for a couple months now. I wanted them to get used to this pasture before I start subdividing it. In years past, we did an animal control area, and I kept them in the same spot all winter. And then I would come in and pitchfork out their manure and spread it around myself. And that was what was suggested to me by NRCS, and it has merit. But this year, I'm going to try rotationally grazing them, even though there's nothing to graze on. And I'm going to move their hay around. That way they're doing the labor of spreading the manure for me. And we'll see how that does. Obviously, I'm going to feed as much hay as they can eat so that we keep weight on. Although they already got their nice fluffy white or fluffy winter coats there, huh? Good looking cows. Yeah. You want to come say hi? They're like, you just go away, buddy. Let us get back to what we're doing. So. But anyway, the turkeys will permanently live with the cows now. This is 2 acres of grazing. I can do probably 50 birds, 100, probably even 100 birds here, and have them never be on the same patch of grass in the same season. What I will never do is put chickens in here in this pasture, because that's what causes, or at least heavily contributes to, the blackhead problem. Is the chickens eat this thing, allow it to progress to its next stage of life, and then the turkeys eat it, either in larval or egg form, and then it's fatal to the turkey. Where I've never seen it bother a chicken. I mean, we have hundreds of chickens here sometimes, and never have I seen one die of this. The key indicator is like fluorescent yellow feces. As soon as you see that, you're going to have a dead bird in 3 days. And then you're probably going to lose, I don't know, 1-2% of your birds every day until the ones that are susceptible to it are gone. So once you see it, it's a real problem. We're trying preventative strategies with the cayenne pepper and oregano oil. So we'll see how that works. Got a buzzard up here, looking for more of my chickens probably. We'll go down into the woods here, and again, we're at today's Christmas Eve. I have 2-foot grass, nice bright green, delicious grass standing there. What I don't have is perimeter fencing established yet. I got all the posts in before the ground froze, but you know, one of the big projects for 2026 and early 2026, probably I'll work on it February, March, when there ain't much else to do but cut firewood, and we'll get this all fenced in and hot, and then we'll move the cows down in. I do have to figure out somewhere over here where I'm going to put the gate. But once we figure out where we're going to cut our existing fence to establish a gate so that they can access from this paddock down here into the woods, then we'll be in business. I'm going to run 2 hot wires at the bottom real close, so that even though it's not going to be the primary perimeter for the pigs, it will be peace of mind perimeter for the pigs. Look at this grass. If I could get cows down here right now, they would munch all this up very quickly. That's some good stuff. And it's like that all throughout here. This used to be garbage woods. Move the pigs through here and they expose the soil, take out a bunch of trees that aren't doing you any good, especially dead trees. Now you got firewood, and you're taking land that you were probably not using for much, maybe a deer plot, and turning it into a food and money generator for your property. And there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm going to take all of this eventually and get it into silvopasture. That'll be about 6 acres. And then I could do maybe 10 beef here instead of 3. Especially since there's no land for lease available for me right now, so I got to do what I can with what I got. Once I use that all up, then I can worry about trying to get more. But it would be silly to complain about not being able to lease land nearby when I'm not even fully utilizing what I have. So I think it's a good idea to walk your property, no matter how big it is, even if it's 1/10 of an acre, which is what I started on. I still tried to make the full use of that. I kept chickens, had goats. That was probably not the best idea for that property, but I did it. Raised rabbits. Do what you can with what you got. And then it'll put you in a position to either recognize opportunities as they come available, or to create opportunities for you to increase production, all with a full-time job, by the way. Maybe I don't know, I don't watch football, so that's where I get my time, I guess. But anybody can do this, and everybody should do this, in my opinion. So go out there, walk your property, come up with a list of 2026 projects, and then hold yourself accountable and get them done. There's some cool results. For instance, look at this pond. This is just a pig wallow. Wasn't here before. The pigs found a spot where it made sense for them to dig up. There's kind of springs that run all through here in the springtime, and it probably already has frogs in it down there under the leaves, but in the springtime this is going to be an explosion of life here. And then once the cows come through, graze it all down, I'll let the pigs in here. Yeah, these frogs will be mad that the pigs destroyed their house, but they'll make another house, and then we'll do it again. Maybe even I'll put chickens down in here, although I don't know. Be a pain moving chicken netting through all this crap, but we'll also let the pigs thin more of it out. Every year it gets less and less dense with the rose bushes and garbage. Like that right there. Is that cut? Look at that. That's just going to be ground into mulch once the pigs get at it. So get out there and make it better. Merry Christmas.